everyone likes McDonald's. And I understand that. I understand the reasons why, and I understand all, what could go wrong with McDonald's and everything like that. However, everyone does have to admit that McDonald's is part of American culture now. American culture, part of American culture has now been McDonald's. McDonald's is just the life of it. It's just part of the culture. There's lots of things we could talk about with McDonald's, and I don't want to talk about everything. I have many stories about McDonald's, but I just want to talk about one thing that I think is very interesting, that is more recent, I guess you could say. And now, when I go to fast food restaurants, I am typically a dollar menu guy. I love going on the dollar menu, and there's lots of reasons for that, and I don't want to talk about them, but I usually order off the dollar menu. I order like 3 things off the dollar menu for $3, all right? Decent amount of food at any fast food place. And the same thing is with McDonald's. I like to order off the dollar menu. Well, always going to McDonald's in my past in college and, high school and all that stuff, I would always go to the dollar menu, and I discovered what is called the Double Cheeseburger. The Double Cheeseburger, yes, it is smaller than a normal cheeseburger if you pay for the normal ones. However, the Double Cheeseburger is 2 patties, 2 pieces of cheese, and it's great. Okay, it actually tastes pretty decent, and it's actually a decent amount of meat on there. I find it to be a very good dollar menu item. And so that's what I would like, that's what I always like to order, and that's what I got all the time. I would probably order 2 of those, and if I was really hungry, I'd order 3. So ordering those for many years. Well, I think about a year ago, it might be a little bit more, a little bit less, I'm not sure. I went to McDonald's, got on saw the dollar menu, and guess what? There was no Double Cheeseburger. And I thought, what the heck just happened? Where's the Double Cheeseburger? Now, I did notice that the dollar menu had changed a little bit, and a lot of places had changed their dollar menu because of the economy and everything like that. However, I was like, where's this Double Cheeseburger? Because there's no point in me coming to McDonald's if I can't have a Double Cheeseburger. I was like, what's the point? I was like, I have to find it. So I look everywhere on this menu, and I can't find the Double Cheeseburger. I thought, what the heck happened? So I ended up ordering something, I don't even remember what it was. So the second time I go, and I went to a different McDonald's, I just had this small hope in me that this other McDonald's would have the Double Cheeseburger on the dollar menu. It wasn't there. And I was just so downtrodden. I didn't know what to do. I was lost. I was looking around trying to figure out, where am I, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to find this Double Cheeseburger. So I look everywhere on that menu, and guess what? I found it. I found the Double Cheeseburger, but it was in a different section, and it was now $1.19. And I'm thinking, McDonald's, what have you done? What have you done to me? Why have you changed it to $1.19? What's the point of that? That's 20 cents more. Now you're thinking, 20 cents more, James, you can't just fork over 20 cents more? What's the big deal? That's just 2 dimes, 4 nickels. A nickel and 2 nickels and a dime. It's whatever. It's not even that big a deal. That's chump change you got in your car. Actually, I don't have any chump change in my car. But that's not the point. The point is that it's not on the dollar menu. And in principle, I cannot order anything that's off of the dollar menu. No, I'm just kidding. I order stuff off the dollar menu. But the point is, it's not $1 anymore. And I thought, it's not worth it to me to pay $1.19 for that. Now, $1, I think it's awesomely worth it. So I ended up ordering something I don't even remember. So then the third time I go to McDonald's, I was so downtrodden, I went up to the dollar menu, and I thought, I can't have the Double Cheeseburgers at $1.19, and that still is the case. However, I did see something on there called the McDouble. And I thought, what is the McDouble? That's interesting. I had no idea what it was, because in my mind, that would make a good name for a Double Cheeseburger. However, they already have a Double Cheeseburger, and it's $1.19. So what's the McDouble? So I was like, let me go ahead and order the McDouble. So I ordered the McDouble for $1, and guess what? It was the Double Cheeseburger. And I thought, what are they doing? This makes no sense. Why have 2 Double Cheeseburgers and one 20 cents more? So I ate it. It tasted great, and I thought, this is the Double Cheeseburger. This is it. I was so happy, because I thought that I had lost it. I thought it had left me, and I didn't know what to do. And now I did know what to do. But then I was wondering, throughout that week or whenever it was, I thought, what exactly is the difference between the McDouble and the Double Cheeseburger? Because there has to be a reason for them having 2 different ones. So I thought, okay, I'm going to ask them. So the 4th time I go to McDonald's, I went up to the counter, and I went up to the guy. I said, look, this is going to seem like a very odd question. What exactly is the difference between the McDouble for $1 and the double cheeseburger for $1.19. He looked at me and smiled, and he was like, yeah, there is a difference. And I said, oh, okay, well, what is it? And he said, the difference is that the double cheeseburger used to be $1, but we had to charge a little bit more because it actually has 2 slices of cheese on it. And the McDouble has 1 slice of cheese. So it's the exact same burger, it's just that one has 1 more piece of cheese on it. And I just thought, wow, isn't that funny? This world has come to the point where you're making 2 different versions of the same menu item, just with a 1 slice of cheese difference. And yes, I understand that times are tight and you gotta do, and I understand that. And what makes me happy is the fact that McDonald's actually came up with a solution that works for everybody. Okay, they came up with a solution that said, look, we got to charge more for the double cheeseburger because we're losing money on the deal, and they got to do what they got to do and raise the price, and that makes sense. However, for those of us who are dollar menu principle by nature, they came up with a solution that said, look, why don't we just offer the same thing with 1 slice of cheese less? And if they want that extra slice, then they just get the double cheeseburger. And McDonald's was just brilliant in this, and I just thought it was awesome. Now, really the point of this video was just to let you know about the subtle difference between the McDouble and the double cheeseburger, if you're ever wondering. And I know that many people don't wonder those type of things, or don't even bother to ask. But I did, and I asked, so you don't have to. Well, that's it for today, and always remember, my name is James, and I am your friend.